Yo, goddess, I need your help.
Yo, chill, Mo. What's going on?
I don't know. I was asleep, but then I woke up, but I couldn't move my body.
Oh, okay. You're just having sleep paralysis.
Sleep paralysis? Huh?
Yeah, but don't worry about it. I'm gonna get you hip. But first, roll the intro.
Thank you, because I'm seeing things.
Hey, welcome to the Dream Dosage, where we dream every second. My name is Goddess, and this channel is all about spiritual growth and following your dreams. So in today's video, I am doing a story time on my craziest sleep paralysis experience. So I haven't done a story time video in a little while, and I thought this would be a good story to tell because I know so many people go through sleep paralysis and they don't know anybody else that may be having the same experiences, or they don't have anybody that can be an example for what's really happening with them. But I have dealt with sleep paralysis for many years, and I can definitely help you and explain what I've been through when it comes to that, because it can be a really scary experience. So I totally get it. And before we get started, make sure that you like this video and share with others, and also subscribe to the Dream Dosage so that you can join this beautiful Dream Dosage family. All right, let's just go ahead and get into the story. So for those of you that may not know, sleep paralysis is when your body is asleep but your mind is awake. So if you ever have been in a situation where you've been sleeping and then all of a sudden you wake up but like you cannot speak, you cannot move, that is called sleep paralysis. And it is literally scary as shit. So I first began having sleep paralysis when I was around the age of 14, 15. When it happened for the first time, like, I was freaking out. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I was laying in my bed and I was sleeping on my back. It's just what felt comfortable for me when I went to sleep. I just remember having a dream, you know, like normal. Then all of a sudden I opened my eyes and I could not move my body. Like, I was stiff as a board, could not move, could not speak. I was going crazy in my head. Like, I thought I was gonna die. All I could think in my head was, oh my gosh, what is going on? Like, what is happening to me? I was able to wiggle my hands a little bit, wiggle my toes, and then I was able to get up after about a minute or so of trying to like move my body. And then I just remember running upstairs to my mom and being like, Mom, I don't know what's going on. Like, I was asleep, but then I woke up but my body wasn't moving and I couldn't speak, I couldn't do anything. And she was looking at me like, okay, like, did you die? And I was just like, whatever, this woman doesn't know anything. So I ended up going online and doing a little googly woogly search, and I found that online there really wasn't that much information about sleep paralysis, especially at this time. It was like a long time ago. Not that I'm super old or anything, don't worry about my age, but okay. When you will look it up, the only thing that you will find is that scientists, doctors, they're just saying that, oh, you know, it's not a big deal. All it means is that your mind is waking up before the body, and if you're feeling pressure in your chest or if you're seeing things, it's just a hallucination. Don't worry about it. And I'm like, okay, well, if, you know, the doctors, scientists are saying it's not a big deal, it must not be a big deal. But later on, I knew that it was a big deal. You really can't believe everything that they say online. They're always going to give you the 3D version of what something is. But at that time, you know, young, naive, and 14, 15-year-old, I just believed that was it and there was nothing much to it. Soon I would find out years later that there was a lot more to it. So after that, I started to experience sleep paralysis like all the time, like almost every other night. It was always scary. I was always frightened. After a while of this occurring, I started to realize, oh, maybe if I don't sleep on my back, then I won't have this experience. I'll sleep on my side and that would help. But then also I kind of learned how to deal with it, and the best way to kind of deal with sleep paralysis is to stay calm. If you're freaking out, it's probably going to last longer. So after years of this occurring, I kind of got to the point where I was able to control my sleep paralysis, and for a few years I wasn't even having sleep paralysis that much. It would come every now and again, but for the most part, I wasn't even getting it. But that would all soon change when I got to college. About 4 or 5 years later, I really started to get a hold of my sleep paralysis. I pretty much rarely ever had it. So when I would go to sleep, I never would even think about it because it was so rare that I would ever have sleep paralysis, you know? It was something that would just happen when I was younger. This was around the time I was a sophomore, like in college. My roommate was not there. My boyfriend at the time, he was not there. I was just at home by myself, and it was just like a regular night, and I just went to sleep. And then I remember I was just having like this really awesome dream, like a really regular normal dream. Then I started to notice that the scene of the dream was becoming more vivid. At this time, I knew somewhat about lucid dreams, but I never knew that I was actually experiencing lucid dreams. It was just something that I've always wanted because I've just always been into dreams and been fascinated by them, but I never actually had the experience where it's like I knew I was having a lucid dream. But looking back on it now, I know that what was going on was I was having a lucid dream. So while I'm in this dream, I start seeing people walking around and talking. I'm like at a park or something, and I just see a bunch of people just walking around and smiling and laughing, giggling, having a great time, and I just feel good. I'm just like, oh yeah, this is nice, this is wonderful. Then I see this really cute guy, like hot, sexy, chocolatey man just rolling by on his bike. I'm like, okay, who is that? What's good with you? Then he ends up coming up to me, and then he just starts kissing me. I'm like, okay, all right, I'm liking this. And at this time, I can feel it, like everything that's happening, like the sensations of the dream are so real. It's like I'm really there. Like I can feel the guy, like I can feel the atmosphere, like I can hear the sounds, I can smell the air. I'm kissing this guy now. I'm like super into it. And then I feel my body coming up, and at this time I didn't know what was going on, but looking back on it again, what was going on was I was experiencing astral projection, but I didn't know that at the time. All I knew was I'm in a dream, I'm making out with this guy, and my body just starts to come up, which was really my soul was coming out of my body, but I didn't know that. So as my soul's coming out of my body and I'm leaning upward, kissing this guy still, all of a sudden I wake up into the physical reality. I wake up, my eyes open, and I see this demon, like a literal demon in front of me, like looking at me, and I get so freaked out. And as soon as I see this demon, it just starts choking me, like I was like, oh hell no, like it just started choking me so hard, like I could not make this up. I really felt this being over me. Like it was I remember it's the way it looked. It didn't really have a face, but it had like really beady eyes. It was just a dark black figure, and I just started screaming like I was going crazy. Like I just started screaming, and then I woke up like as myself in the physical, and I was just freaked out. Like that has never happened to me. That was the scariest sleep paralysis moment I've ever had in my whole freaking life. Like it was crazy. And then I was telling people about it, like, oh my gosh, this happened to me, I don't know what's going on, there was a demon on top of me. And people just looked at me like I was crazy, and they're like, you're just tripping, it was just a bad dream. So when I hear, you know, scientists or doctors saying, oh, it's just a hallucination, like I know that's a bunch of BS because I felt it. Like you cannot tell me that that figure was not in front of my face, that it was not choking me. I literally physically felt it choking me. Now that I think about it, as I've gone through my spiritual awakening and everything, that was kind of like a wake-up call for me, because during this time in my life I was really asleep. When I was going through my spiritual awakening, I really started to like look back on all the spiritual experiences that I had before I actually awakened, and there are so many, but that is like one of the biggest ones that like pushed me into feeling like, okay, there is definitely more to life than what I know. But yeah, that was like the scariest, craziest sleep paralysis experience that I've ever had. Since then, I have had other crazy sleep paralysis experiences, and like I said, I've gone through it so much and I can control it at this point. So when it happens to me, it really doesn't make a difference. It's just like a part of my life or a part of my sleep pattern, so it really doesn't affect me that much. And I also kind of invite sleep paralysis, because what scientists don't tell you, what other people may not tell you, is that when you're going through sleep paralysis, especially if it's like in the middle of the night while you're sleeping, that is what helps you to go into other dimensions. That is the starting point to you astral projecting. If you're feeling like, oh, I'm feeling a lot of pressure on my chest, that's how I know I'm about to have sleep paralysis, is if I feel a lot of pressure on my chest, because that is one of the biggest ways that you know you're about to have it. That's what's basically pushing your soul out of your body, and you're able to astral project or to astral travel. So I really just kind of invite sleep paralysis to happen. Even sometimes if I sleep on my side, I will still have sleep paralysis. So at this point, it doesn't even matter if I sleep on my side or sleep on my back. I may or may not have sleep paralysis. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That was my crazy sleep paralysis experience, and I really hope that you enjoyed it or learned something about sleep paralysis. And if you have had sleep paralysis, please let me know in the comment section below, and let me know how you kind of deal with that. Are you scared? Can you control it? Do you have any questions about it? I would love to answer any questions that you may have. If you like this video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure that you share with others. And you can also connect with me on Instagram at the Dream Dosage. I would love to communicate with you on there. And make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you are new, and join this beautiful Dream Dosage family. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.